has had mercy. Oh, Jesus Christ in heaven. Jesus. Yeah, mama. Yeah, man. Okay. The miraculous one is with you once again. Okay, I have to have my, there it is. It'll man make himself hot. Gotta cool off a little bit. Oh, yeah. Life is so wonderful. So much of a blessing. Also, haven't played this didgeridoo in a while. This is one that I made more than 20 years ago. This one I call Lord Buddha. And as you all notice, I always put a crystal inside of all of my didgeridoos. And it's been a long time since I've played this one. But again, this one is Lord Buddha. Most of the ones you saw me playing in the last couple of months have been didgeridoos that were made by my good brother friend Kyle Burt, who is in Tucson, Arizona. He does desert and mountain didgeridoos, a master maker. I mean, so masterful, I bought 5 of his didgeridoos. So if you're looking for a didgeridoo, I highly recommend him. And I think it's DesertMountainDidges.com. Just want to give him a shout out and a plug because he's such a masterful maker. I mean, he's such a good maker that I even bought one of his didges sight unseen. Just, you heard it because he'll put all of the samples on his website that you can hear, and I had him to, just mail it to me. I didn't even play it, but he's that good of a maker. So shout out to Kyle Burt, Desert Mountain Didgeridoos. I am a starious, miraculous, so deliciously full of myself right now, and I want you to catch this vibration. And also, this is Ascension Live. Ascension Live is given every Friday on Instagram at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and on Facebook every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And Ascension Live is about the resonance of all things ascended. We work a lot with sonic ascension, working with the vibrations of music and sound as a resonance to create ascended frequency. What you hear playing in the background is Fly My Winged Love, which is the title track from that album, my album, Fly My Winged Love. Be sure and go to my website, experience some of the music that I have there. Have 22 music albums to choose from there and 2 books. And also you can get information as to the readings that I do, intuitive astrology readings and sound healing transmissions with didgeridoo, vocal harmonics, and Reiki. And I thank all of you who've been so kind to give me the opportunity to support your expansion by doing individual sessions for you. I mean, if you love me online in this particular format, oh my goddess, when you get one-on-one with me, it's a whole nother animal. A whole nother, and I'm all, that's the resonance and the resonance and code within animals. You take those syllables and transform them into words, and you get and I'm all you, and I'm all you. See, and animals have that interconnectedness to that which is around them in a different way than us human beings do, except when we are in alignment with our intuition, which has an interchangeability with instinct, which is the primary expression for the animals. So also offer your comments, and in the comments I'd love to know where it is that you are tuning in from. You know, what city you're tuning in from, what country you're tuning in from, so that we can all be in acknowledgement of this chain of the oneness of the wholeness, you know, that we're sharing in as we're in this particular format of Ascension Live. And it's wonderful to see, you know, where all of the beloveds are tuning in. Okay, I see Vancouver. That's beautiful. Thank you for being here, Vancouver. I see Lawrenceville, Georgia. I see California. Okay, give me some more. Let's just see it. Olympia, Washington, Phoenix, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Newport, Virginia, and blessings from Florida, and blessings from Aries, Argentina, and Melbourne, Australia. Oh my God, we have this interconnectedness all around the planet. Again, we have Phoenix, Arizona, and we got Toronto. Thank you, all of you beloveds from all over the planet. We are creating a harmonic convergence as we are converged here within this meeting place of Ascension Live. We're bringing the resonance, or all of the places that you see around the globe who are present here are offering the most exalted frequencies that exist within all of those places. And we are sending forth the exalted frequency of this Ascension Live, which is broadcast here from my home, Ascension Temple, which is located in the Red Rocks of Sedona, Arizona. So we also have that frequency of Sedona being emanated out to everywhere all over the globe. So the subject for today is life purpose. Life purpose. We're going to go deep into that. Also, one other thing, be sure and check me out on all of the different platforms of Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So you can find more than 700 videos across those platforms, and I feel so very honored for the numbers of people that are responsive to the creative expressions that I put out there. I am, more than 2.8 million views now across the platforms of Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So take advantage of all of that and offer your comments, because so many others are blessed and benefited by the comments that you offer. So one of the things that we're going to be dealing with in terms of life purpose, first of all, today, in terms of what's going on astrologically, right now, in this now moment, the moon is right about 28 degrees of Virgo, and which is the element of earth. And then the nodal axis, which is the north node and the south node of the moon. Okay, north node is in Gemini, which is air. South node is in Sagittarius, which is fire. And the moon is making a square to the nodal axis. And the nodes represent life purpose. The north node is life purpose as it relates to present future. The south node represents life purpose as it relates to present past. So the fact that we are here together in this live, there is a collective focus upon life purpose. Many of my clients have, been asking, what is my life purpose? What am I here to do? One of the greatest traps around life purpose is to measure life purpose based upon your doing, achieving, and creating. You see, life purpose is not a matter of doing, achieving, and creating. I mean, that is an extension of life purpose, the doing, the achieving, and the creating. But the root of life purpose is being. You see, and we all have that one covered already. Because here we all are, sitting inside of our own existence, living and moving and having our being. The Virgo energy, when it comes from its shadow place, gets caught up in a false kind of perfectionism. So what's our attitude toward what's perfect? How do we approach perfection? Are you approaching perfection as if it is a destination that you're going to reach? Any destination has its limitation. Perfection, in its most exalted resonance, is not a destination, Perfection is an eternal journey, and every step in the journey is a perfect step. Not always a favorite step, but every step in the journey is a perfect step. Even when it's painful, it's perfect. Even when we're knocked down, it's perfect. And when we can recognize that, even though we were knocked down in life and it hurt, like a lot of us are feeling very knocked down by COVID. And that too is perfect, as painful as it is. Perfectly intended to become the catalyst by which we all become stronger. So when we're knocked down by something, hurts like hell, and then we get up stronger than we were before we went down. May you see, beloved, that your whole life is perfect, that every chapter in the book of your life is a perfect chapter. It won't always be a favorite chapter, and yet it is indeed a perfect chapter. If you ripped out an unfavorite chapter from the book of your life, it would be just as incomplete as if you ripped out a favorite chapter. So recognize the perfection of everything, and the true mastery of the true perfectionist is one who engages in perfect acceptance. When you swallow your life whole, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we have the capacity to be empowered by everything. When we allow ourselves to be positioned in the eye of the storm, in the I am of the storm, in the sacred pause, in the stillness, in slow motion, in that central core place of our beingness that is uncontaminatable by any negativity or any darkness. We have a place within the central core of our being that will never be touched by COVID-19, and that place in the central core of being is deeper than the physical. Yes, we have a body, and yet the reality of our being is deeper than the body. The body is not who we are. The body is a vehicle that we ride around in to navigate this physical domain. So everything is perfect, and the root of life purpose is being. So you don't have to race against time with the attitude, oh my God, what is my life purpose? What am I meant to do before I leave here? Oh God, don't let me die before I fulfill my life purpose. Stop allowing time to bully you. Beloved, time cannot run out on eternity. Therefore, time cannot run out on you. And when you look at how is it that your Creator loves you, what is the prerequisite for God loving you, loving me, loving all of us? When we really pay attention and see with divine eyes of clarity, we notice that God loves us with an infinite love and validates us with an infinite validation based upon one fact. And that fact has nothing to do with doing, achieving, and creating. We are loved with infinite love and validated with infinite validation by Creator based upon our being. Creator infinitely loves us and validates us because we are. And it is in actuality enlightened self-interest on the part of God, because each of us are God's own self by microcosmic extension. We are the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. We are biological libraries, having the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. So life purpose is being. So now go ahead and do, achieve, and create for the sheer joy of it. If life purpose and being was a cake, the cake is already baked. So you can celebrate that you're already in the delicious fulfillment of life purpose. And life purpose, just like the universe, is in an eternal state of expansion. You see, the cake of being and life purpose is already baked, and the doing, achieving, and creating will be some wonderful icing on the cake, which adds a little something, gives it something extra. But the divine essence of it already is. So you don't have to race against time. You may not get it all done in one lifetime or even 10 lifetimes, but when you measure one lifetime or 10 lifetimes alongside eternity, it pretty much comes up the same. Now, think of 3 of your heroes and or sheroes, 3 beings that you have exalted reverence for. 3 beings that in consciousness represent a kind of an elder for you, and that you really look up to, and that your soul is fed by. And as you think of those 3 beings, in fact, you might even want to put them in the chat. The 3 beings that you most admire and are most uplifted by. Write those 3 names down, and behind that write, "We are one." See, sometimes when we're in the admiration of those that are a source of our inspiration, we are in our admiration from a place of separation. But I am inviting you to be in your admiration from a place of the oneness, of the wholeness that you share with the being that you admire. As I said, each of us is a biological library. Within the library of our biology is the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. It is said by all of the ancient philosophers and modern ones as well that the Akashic records represent the book of God's remembrance, the consciousness of God, wherein there is the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. And we are like an individualized computer in our biology that receives the download from that celestial mainframe computer of the consciousness of God, Goddess, Absolute, wherein lies the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. And all of that has been downloaded into the biological cellular files of our being. And so anything to be known about anything or anyone can be found within that biological library that each and every one of us are. It's all inside of you. Just as we're engaging with each other, here I am on the screen of your life. Just like when you watch a movie, the movie's on the screen. Or you experience the movie on the screen, but the movie in truth is in the projector that is projected onto the screen. See, I emanate from the projector of your individualized being, and here I am on the screen of your life, and yet the totality of my beingness and my entire soul and soul journey exist within the biological library of your being, as your entire soul and soul journey exists within the biological library of my being. And so it is with those that you look up to and admire so much, your heroes and your sheroes. First and foremost, they are a cellular counterpart within the biological library of your being. You are a biological living library containing the knowledge of all things, containing the entire soul adventure of every being in all existence, the entire adventure of every angel in all existence, every Elohim, every cherubim, seraphim, you see, every ascended master, clan of the trumpet angels. Oh, Cosmic Sid, I love you. I see you over there. And so we want to honor what we contain. So as you think about these three beings that you have so much admiration for, I want you to feel that there are telepathic battery cables extending out from your heart mind and connecting to the heart mind of these three beings that you so greatly admire. And now we're going to initiate the soul jumpstart. Everything that you look up to them for, we're going to initiate the soul jumpstart for that to be jump-started inside of your being, inside of my being. As we look to those heroes and sheroes, they also live within the cellular biology of our being. Within the consciousness of our being. And so as we initiate the soul jumpstart, we actually create the activation of the cellular counterpart within us that is the totality of these great beings that we look up to. Now there's a great personalization that is taking place because it's now activated within our own being. And here it is within us. We've jump-started ourselves. See, you never want to admire from separation. You want to admire from oneness. Oneness of wholeness, of connection with every wonderful thing that you look up to. So feel that reality. So beautiful. Life purpose is within your being. It's already done. It is in a state of eternal expansion, so it goes from greater to greater to greater to greater to greater. And yet the divine essence of it already is. I thank you, God, Goddess Absolute, my celestial hero and shero. I thank you, clan of the trumpet angels, who have taught me to do the sacredly outrageous things that I do with sound. I initiate the soul jumpstart. I soul jumpstart the essence of God, Goddess at large within the cellular matrix of my being. And because I am this biological living library, I live and move and have my being in the expression of my celestial selfhood, aka God, Goddess Absolute, microcosmically expressed through the portal of my individualized being. I own my divinity. And I thank you, beloved clan of trumpet angels, for teaching me what you've taught me to do with sound, and for being a collective resonance of consciousness and beingness that now portals through the individualization of my soul. All is well in the kingdom of this now. And now another technique we're going to work with, beloved brothers and sisters. Here I have a quartz crystal ball, this ball being symbolic of the earth. This is symbolic of the earth. And if you have one nearby, you can take hold of it, or you can ball up a piece of paper and take hold of it. Anything that you can hold within your hand, and let it be symbolic of the earth. And so here I have this quartz crystal that is the representation of our sweet earth. And I have activated the oneness of the wholeness of my God, Goddesshood, the oneness of the wholeness of your God, Goddesshood, pouring forth blessings of immunity, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical immunity within every being upon the earth. Breathing the breath of the exaltation of consciousness within all of the governmental heads upon our planet that are running amok in immaturity. We breathe forth the life essence of elevation of consciousness. We envision the elevation of consciousness within every governmental head. We envision the dissolving of the poison of negative expression and malicious mechanisms of control. All of that has dark intentions towards the populace of those of us here on earth. We allow ourselves to believe with the believing power of God, Goddess Absolute, that all of these governmental heads are evolving, and that those that are not ready to evolve into a resonance with the ascended earth, that is the new paradigm unfolding, will melt away. All beings that do not align with a golden age culture choose to bow out of connection with this great exaltation occurring in the new paradigm unfolding upon our earth. And now I have a clear quartz and a black obsidian. The black stone is a representation of all of the negatives that are to be drawn out of our planet. Everything that is not in alignment with that which is divine. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine. Only that which is divine is truly mine. And so visualize the dark stone as being that which is drawing out all of the poisons that exist upon the planet and circling back in through the clear quartz stone in a purified way. It is wise not to despise it. We use the dung to fertilize it. For life's greatest connoisseur gets the best crops from the best manure. And together, beloveds, we intend this with the intending power of God, Goddess Almighty. We intend this with the intending power of the entire angelic host, with the entire host of ascended masters, Elohim, seraphim, cherubim, all of the divine and exalted beings. We call you forth into close proximity here on our planet. We know that you're already close, but we call you in close proximity in our conscious awareness of your presence. And we call forth the intercession for you to intercede and be a catalyst for the dissolving of all malintent upon the planet, the dissolving of all negative plans to be maliciously controlling humanity. And oh, beloved Creator, we call forth that which exists within the central core of every being among humanity to rise up as a force of benevolence, as a force of graciousness, a force of ascension, a force of innocence, a force of abundance, a force of immunity. All is well in the kingdom of this sacred now. Oh God, we thank you so much. I'm going to now share something that I had as a download. Some of you may have already heard it. I call it Letter to My Blessings. And I speak this with the speaking power of God, Goddess Absolute, speaking through me. Dear blessings, one and all, thank you for pouring down like waterfalls from heaven upon me, every being, and the whole sweet earth. Thank you, Creator, Source, for aligning us with our worthiness that summons all blessings that are, were, or ever will be. Every time is now. Every space is here. Everyone is me. Dear love, wisdom, and divine power, thank you for awakening within the heart mind of myself and all. Thank you, love, for being our eternal go-to and being instantly available to us, no matter how long we have turned away from you. Thank you for teaching us that to love all beings is to love the furthest reaches of our own self. Love is eternal and hate will pass away. Thank you, wisdom, for being the awareness within us that we are rising triumphant over every world crisis. We are empowered by everything. Thank you, wisdom, for affirming my redemption and the redemption of all. At the center of our being, we are all innocent, and by mercy and compassion, unto heaven we are sent. Resurrection of ascension, and God is found in man and woman, and we all are family members of the great ascended clan. Thank you, divine power within me and all, for being our worldwide affirmation of dissolving fear, dis-ease, and malicious mechanisms of control. Dear divine love, thank you for intimately introducing us to compassion and motivating us to share it with all. Thank you, compassion, for teaching me, for teaching us that we are co-eternal with God and how to guide darkness back into the family of light. Dear God, Goddess Absolute, thank you for revealing to me that I am a prime creator. Thank you for teaching us that all blessings and realities already exist as formless embryos in the womb of creation, in the womb of our soul. Thank you for teaching us that in order to bring creation into manifestation, we simply allow ourselves to receive what is already given and to focus our attention only upon that which we truly want. Within our asking and allowing is the blossoming seed of our receiving. All genuine prayers are pre-answered, and all blessings are pre-given. The pre-physical level of reality is the first level of giving and receiving. Dear infinite blessings, I allow and let there be your eternal downpour upon me and the all that is. I am that I am. I dream awake, and it is done. It is done, beloved. In this moment of silence, I allow my being to be a portal for the transmission of all of the exalted frequencies of which I have spoken, and to be the reflection of the oneness, of the wholeness of our God, Goddesshood. Happy eternal day, aka happy eternal moment. So I'm ready to bring some beings in live with me. I'm going to say another commercial while I watch for anybody that puts a request in to come on live with me. Again, be sure and experience my website, astarius.com, astarius.com. A great number of music albums there. We've been listening to Deep Space Meditation, Fly My Winged Love, and DNA Ascension. All of that is the background music that is from 3 of my albums. I am available for intuitive astrological readings and sound healing transmissions with Didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. Take advantage of all of the videos available on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure and offer all of your comments, because many are blessed by virtue of the comments that you submit. So I'm going to allow just a couple more moments, and it may be that everybody is full and have basically what they need and don't necessarily want to come on live with me, but I do like to, at the very end, offer that as an opportunity. I think while I'm yet waiting, I'm going to give you another sound frequency transmission. This is a transmission to up-level your connection to your life purpose. Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you joining in with me. Now, let me see. I got something here on the screen that's blocking something, and I want to see all of you. Well, I guess I'm going to have to just let technology do what it does. What's your name, beloved?
Aimee.
How we say?
Aimee.
Aimee. Okay. So what is it that prompted you to come on with me in this sacred now moment?
This is so bizarre. This is the first time I've ever tuned into any of your live sessions.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, look at that. You got on like right away.
It's surreal to me because I feel like I'm currently just going through so much struggle, and I'm really what you said earlier today about perfection just really struck me because I do strive for that.
Okay.
It fumbles me in my direction.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. You say you've been going through so much struggle. Did you feel any measure of relief in the experience of the transmission?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
We want to celebrate that, and we want to build upon that, because one of the things that sometimes happens when we've been in a cycle of struggle and pain, even when something beautiful comes along, you know, sometimes we just give a little bit of attention to that new beautiful thing, and then we revert our attention back to the struggle, not realizing that as we constantly give attention to the struggle, we are in actuality breathing more life force into the struggle. So right now, I invite you, Aimee, to ignore the struggle. Now, it's still there, but ignore it as in not giving energy to it. You see, you want to bless the struggle to make it right, reverse the tide, and free the light. Because when you go to the central core of the struggle, you'll also find the eye of the storm. See? In the very center place of every struggle is the eye of the storm. Just like in the storm itself is the eye of the storm, a place of exquisite peace and calm, right in the midst of all of that turbulence and chaos. So as you resonate with the struggle, or think about the struggle, go deeper than the struggle and go into the eye of the storm in the midst of the struggle. Now, were you present for the part when I was talking about the admiration for your heroes and sheroes and making your, initiating the soul jumpstart? Okay, so what I invite you to do in this moment, you see this, I'm so full of myself in a good way, and I got all this energy, but I want to share a counterpart of it with you.
Thank you.
But it's not meant for me to force that upon you. But if you choose it, then you can initiate the soul jumpstart. within you. See, because when I'm faced with struggles, sometimes the bigger the struggle is, the brighter I shine. That's my wiring. You see, and there's just something about it, you know, that I have just always risen up. And so feel the linking of the telepathic battery cables from your heart mind to my heart mind. And let the jump start happen. Let the jump start happen. Let the good times roll. I mean, really feel this with all of your passion. Feel this with the passion of God, Goddess Absolute. Choose this, my sweet sister, with the choosing power of God, Goddess Absolute. The peace that you seek is a peace that already exists within the core of your being. When peace comes over you, it's not something that came out of nowhere into your being. It's something that was always there, but you weren't paying attention to it. When you're in pain, you're paying attention to pain rather than paying attention to peace. Mm-hmm. See, even, you know, the pain can be very physically real. But in the midst of the physical reality of pain, if we were to divert our attention to peace, to wholeness, to equilibrium. Go ahead and smile with me. See, when you smile, there's these amazing feel-good hormones that happen. You know, that's why I smile so much, because when I do, I'm offering an invitation. You know, when you smile genuinely at someone, they feel really invited into your field. And you feel confident in what it is that is emanating from your being. Because a smile is an access code to your divinity. And I'm talking about a genuine smile, because there's false, fictitious smiles too. We're not talking about that kind. But the genuine smile, you know, the genuine smile that is a portal for your divinity. So I'm getting a feeling about, like, I talked about perfection earlier. Now you tell me if I'm getting this correctly. I feel that you got a big perfectionist inside of you. You know, and that there's a little bit of the all or nothing. That if you didn't get all of what you want, the ego within you said you didn't get anything at all. Yeah. So sometimes you deceive yourself into believing that everything has gone wrong. There may be some things that, you know, are not working quite right, but everything's not gone wrong. It's a false perception. So what I encourage you to do is to let go of this all or nothing at all attitude. See, because when you're in all or nothing, you're actually seeing the glass as half empty. Now it's in the potential of emptying. See, all or nothing is like minimizing the maximum. Having a minimum appreciation for whatever the maximum measure of blessings are in your life. And when you minimize the maximum, then the maximum becomes the minimum. But your power is in seeing the glass as half full. See it as half full. It's in the potential of filling. Now you're maximizing the minimum, and then the minimum becomes the maximum. Okay. So, also want to let you know that I'll be, you know, connected to all of these videos. I will put my phone number, we'll put my website and all of that kind of stuff. And if you should feel moved to consider having a session, then definitely reach out. I'm here for you relative to that, and would be honored to facilitate your expansion in that way, and only if it pleases your heart. Just want you to know that that's available for you. Now, I keep looking at my clock because I know that Instagram at a certain point would start doing a countdown on us. I think we got a good 5 minutes left. So any question you have?
in the vein of this all or nothing,
Okay.
this there's so many vectors for me to move forward on, and I feel spread thin because of that. So I choose one, and it doesn't go right completely, and so I start to question and thinking about pivoting, and I'm trying to think in the long term, you know, the small gains, what they can become.
Well, you got to stop trying. Trying is lying. To do is true.
Okay.
If I was to try to get up out of my seat, I couldn't really get beyond this, because the moment I did this, I'm not trying. I'm actually standing. Trying is lying. To do is true. So you don't want to try. But let me ask you a question. How do you feel about all of this emotion that's coming through you right now? Are you at peace with it?
I feel a bit overwhelmed by it.
Okay, so you're not in full acceptance of what you're feeling.
No, I don't like how I feel.
Okay, so my sense is that your question is in the midst of your strong emotions right now, because I see you struggling. You don't want the tears to stream down your face, even though they're doing so anyway, but there's an ego mechanism behind that trying to keep it from happening. And that ego mechanism behind that is actually trying to initiate emotional constipation, which then you're going to need a big enema. So some of your power of understanding where you want to get in life lies in accepting your emotionality, accepting your feelings, recognizing that your feelings are the root of your being. You know, that your feelings are your access code to experiencing God. You experience God through your feelings, not your mind. Mind can articulate about it, but the actual experience goes down at a feeling level. It's hard within our society because we're trained away from our feelings. Average person says to you what when you're crying? What do they say? Oh, don't cry.
Yes.
See, you know, I care about you. Don't cry. But what are they saying many times? You're making me very uncomfortable. Please stop crying. So that's one of the ways in which we are hijacked away from the deeper authenticity of our own selfhood. You see, matter of fact, I'm going to give you this poem because I think it's got a great message for you. And it's a poem that I wrote when I awakened to my feeling nature. I call it From Stinking Thinking to Revealing Feeling. The things I know by what I think are partly good and they partly stink. Not a bad start, but partly sealed. Truth of the head is half revealed. What was the bid when I was a little kid? If I want to be smart, then learn it by heart. What a dread when I learned it by head, for in all my learning I woke up dead. How can my truth be alive and real unless it's truth that I can feel? Down the highway of ignorance and strife, mere thinking was at the wheel of my life. Intellect was wheeling and dealing, but now I'm chauffeured by my feeling. I don't mind showing what's inside. We are all one. Why should I hide? When I do, from me I steal, for I can't heal what I won't reveal, and I can't heal what I'm unwilling to feel. So life, mother of all good things, thanks for the wisdom feeling brings. In feeling there is nothing new except that which I always knew. From stinking thinking to revealing feeling, let's all open up and have a healing. Your feelings are connected to your power. When you're in full ownership of your feelings, you will also be in full ownership of your inner child. And your inner child is the seat of your godhood. That's the little elder within you. So the countdown is beginning to come. Anyway, I love you so much. If you don't feel complete, be sure and check out my website, my phone number, and if you want to do some work, then reach out. I love you with the passion of heaven. Give yourself a big hug. Pinch yourself on all four cheeks, top and bottom. That's a sweet cheekaboo for you, from you. Love